I am Dr. Orlando Sacay. I was appointed by President Marcos upon the declaration of martial law as Deputy Minister of the Department of Local Government and Community Development. As part of the program of the department, we were tasked to organize cooperatives so that the recipients of the land reform program would become members of, which is the requirement of law. So we prepared a program to organize 10,000 village associations or samahang nayon with 500,000 members. And when I presented this to President Marcos, he said, no, make it 1 million members with 20,000 samahang nayon organizations. And of course, I said, sir. I used 3,000 barrio development workers of the department to implement the program because our program of membership required 10 lessons of 4 hours each or 40 hours of lessons. And I needed volunteers to help provide the lessons. So I recruited 12,000 village workers. And eventually, they were able to form the 20,000 Samahang Nayon with 1 million members. We required that each member will save because we had what is called a barrio savings fund. This fund, in a very short period of time, increased to be a very large amount. So we decided that this fund would be used as capital of cooperative development banks. It was important for us to develop cooperative banks owned by the poor so that they will have a source of credit, because obviously the commercial banks will not lend to the poor because they do not have the necessary collateral and they do not meet the requirements. I had a little problem in forming the cooperative banks because the first cooperative bank we formed was in Nueva Ecija. The board of directors that we formed were composed of ordinary farmers. One was a former commander of the Hukbalahap. Another was his partner. There was a grade 2 farmer. There was a teacher, and the only one who had a college degree but did not have any experience in banking. And the central bank denied the application because the board members did not meet the requirements of board membership, which is a college degree and 5 years experience in banking. And none of the board members of this first bank even came close to those requirements. So the application was denied. And so this group of farmers went to President Marcos to request him to have this bank registered. But when they approached him, they made a different approach. When they met President Marcos, they said, Mr. Marcos, Ginoong Pangulo, marami pong salamat sa itinutulong niyo sa aming mga magsasaka. Thank you for the help that you're providing to us farmers. But this time, we would like to help you. Ngayong orasong ito, gusto namin kayong tulungan. And President Marcos was a little bit taken aback. He says, oh, mabuti, it's good. But how are you going to do it? And the farmer said, Mr. President, we are forming our own bank. so that we do not have to depend on you for loans. And President Marcos said, oh, that's nice. But the farmer said, we have one problem, sir. The central bank refuses to register us. Immediately, President Marcos said, call Governor Licaros. And Licaros immediately came and says, yes, sir. Register this bank. Yes, sir. And Licaros gave not only the 1 million peso counterpart fund, he made it 2 million. So this very first bank blossomed into 29 cooperative banks during my time. Not a single bank was closed. I had a bank in Bulacan that needed capital and was in the verge of closure, needed 700,000 pesos only. I gave them the money so that they will not be closed. That bank, over the years, blossomed into a 3 billion peso bank with 60,000 microcredit borrowers. There was another bank that I assisted, and this one I was assisted with the governor of Ilocos Norte at that time, Jaime Marcos. That bank was in the verge of collapse. We together helped it, and it became a model bank. What I'm trying to say is that during our time, since these are banks owned by the poor and helping the poor, we did not allow any single bank to close. And if there were any problems, we supported them. So the number of cooperative banks after my administration or our administration of this program blossomed into 58 cooperative banks. But during the administration of the past administration, the past Aquino administration, out of the 58 cooperative banks, a lot were abolished, and to this day, there is only 10 remaining operating cooperative banks. 48 have been closed, and it is very obvious that the government would rather close a problem bank rather than helping the bank get back up to its feet. They ignore the fact that these banks are owned by the poor. They put in something like 700 million pesos of their own money, of their own savings, and only to close it. So not only do the investment of the poor disappear, their source of loans also disappeared. Now, what should the next administration do? I would say that the next administration should rebuild this cooperative bank system and adopt a program to help the poor. And as I might have said, the pro-poor program of Marcos over the years became anti-poor. Let us bring back the pro-poor program. And I'm sure that Bongbong Marcos will bring back this program when he becomes the president. Thank you for listening.